Alright, what the fuck is up, Denny's? Let's go! We are live.
Open the fucking pit, Denny's.
No AutoZone this week, we're not live there. This week we're live at your local Denny's. We crawled out of the sewer to talk about fucking some crazy ass shit. Some passenger shit, some Noeyesfiend at your local Denny's. That's where it belongs. And that's where we are.
Then he serves only the hardest of cores and only the noisiest of cores.
Absolutely. It kind of seems
Come on
appropriate.
down.
Like, where else would you go for an illegal noise show? Denny's after dark. Oh, they don't like ever open or close, do they? I don't know.
Most of them are 24 hours. So yeah, Denny's after dark is very weird.
Let's go. Let's do a set at Denny's. We're gonna do it, or an AutoZone. That was the other one.
Dude. Oh yeah, AutoZone parking lot. Just show up,
Hell yeah.
pop your trunk open.
That'll be the next. We'll be live next week, or not next show at the AutoZone parking lot. That's what we're gonna do. The best places for noise, but yeah, it's already the end of September. I didn't realize this month went by wicked fast. And,
Yeah, I did.
And for me, I don't know. Summer is definitely power electronics for me, but as like, I feel like it's different for some people. But as it gets colder, it's more techno. Like winter time is like when I listen to a lot of bleeps and techno. So I don't know. I guess fall transitional. Let's talk about some breakcore, hardcores, horrorcore, all the cores.
Hardcore.
Yeah,
Extreme core. Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it, spooky time core, obnoxious core. But before we get into this amazing, beautiful, flourishing, thriving album, let's talk a little bit about some music suggestions. As always, like, I have two, you have three. We both have been particularly busy, so might not spend too much time on this. I'm just kind of got stuff that I've been listening to, and one of them I already mentioned in my vinyl haul video, but I'm reiterating. So I'll have you start first, then. Was your hat?
All right. Oh, sorry. It says anxiety. It's a Nine Inch Nails hat. My hair looks fucking terrible, so I'm like, yeah, I'm just do that.
Perfect.
5 out of 7. It's perfect.
That's a good score. All right. Yeah. What do you got first?
So, this one, yeah, we're talking, summer is like more noisier. Well, for me, summer is like the hardcore time because I think of like all the hardcore festivals going on in
True.
Europe. Yeah, and when I say hardcore, I don't mean like guitar hardcore. I mean, obviously, like leap loop, four on floor hardcore.
This isn't
And
Bane.
so,
This isn't Have Heart. I can only think of Boston hardcore bands, which are fun live. Not to derail, but
oh yeah, no,
but yeah,
totally,
hardcore like. We're talking 200 BPM this whole episode. Get ready. Yeah, we're gonna vibrate.
this is about where life begins. Is 200 BPM. So.
Yes.
So my first one, ironically, after saying all this shit about, summer, is from Russia. It's DJ Blatman, Vodka No Limit.
Incredible.
So, yeah. He's a Slavic hard bass powerhouse. All his music is really fun, and it's just full of like Eastern Bloc pride, not just Russian pride, but like Eastern Bloc pride.
Nice. I love that
Um,
aesthetic.
yeah, it's so great, like seeing all the broken down Soviet stuff and modern Adidas stuff.
It's
Um,
like to see brutalism like destroyed on its or flipped on its head is like essential. It's so good.
yeah, it's yeah, and the good thing about like listening to him is he's against the current war, so like you can listen to his music without thinking, oh, what if I'm supporting a bad person? It's like as soon as Russia did something, he's like, I want peace and
Yeah.
I love partying and dancing with people, so
just want to
Um,
party for God's sake. I just want to
yeah.
grill.
All right, Hank Hill. This EP is like it's almost a fucking party soundtrack by itself. It's got pitched up kicks, catchy lyrics, and it's just hilarious. It's like vodka no limit. So as much vodka as you can drink, or like just endless amounts of vodka.
Is that like
So
that's the name of the EP? Vodka No Limit.
yeah.
Yeah, it's great. We can play so much Team Fortress 2 in our kitchen and stream it. Sorry, Counter Strike.
Yeah, get it right. Steam core.
Maybe Stalker.
But
Yeah, that
yes.
sounds good. I'll have to check that out. That's kind of a little bit of what we're going to be talking about today. The artist I'm about to talk about has nothing to do with the genre we have today. I just wanted to talk about him a bit. His name is
Okay.
Lee Noble, and he's been around for a little bit. Kind of experimental tape loop artist. He does that warm guitar, drone, fuzzy stuff. Kind of Phil Elverum's the microphones inspired. Just really good. If you like that weird tape loop guitar drone stuff, he's wicked good at it. I think his album No Becoming. This is kind of just no album in particular, but that one would be a good one to start. I think a few people actually do know that one. It's got a picture of
Okay.
him wearing like a pumpkin mask on his head. He's just like holding a guitar. Uh, Incredible, like I said, lo-fi, acoustic, ambient stuff. Just really, really awesome to listen to. I enjoy listening to it while like watching Silent Hill long plays or horror long play. That's kind of what I do when I listen to like ambient stuff. I'll watch like horror, like I don't know. I'll watch horror games that I have played tons of times. I just put on long plays. They're like 7 hours long, and I'll just let that play while I listen to stuff.
Oh
It's
hell yeah.
fun. It's even more fun when you're stoned. But it's really good. But yeah, we
This machine kills music, does not endorse the use of drugs.
no, of course not. I'm good. Um, but he also is an artist, and we went. He actually had an exhibit here at his place in Minneapolis, and we saw a lot of. He supports a lot of like very local indie outsider artists, which was really cool to see. So just a cool dude. It's cool meeting and talk about music and art and stuff. I'll link his Bandcamp, but I think people will be really interested in it. You know, it's a good break too from a lot of noise and stuff. But it's, I think if you like, you know, the stuff even we listen to, even stuff like Romley and dark ambient stuff. I think it would pique your interest totally. Yeah. So you're you're up.
Oh, he sounds cool. His album looks cool, so
Yeah, he's
check
got
him
cool
out
album
too.
art.
Yeah.
He was showing me he takes a lot of art from like art books and stuff and edits it, collage stuff.
So, okay, so for my second album, I kind of cheated a little bit because I was like, okay, what can I find that's like hard hitting? Like while I was road tripping most of
Yeah.
the last month, I was like, what's kind of hard hitting and stuff. And so this is actually from someone else from your server, Rat Fox, the
Oh yeah.
Flesh EP.
Yeah.
He's for the people listening who don't know, Rot Fox is a newcomer to the modern industrial sound, and he's like a pretty fantastic producer.
Yeah.
He's been getting like great reviews, and I will say I can't remember if he sent me a preview or what, but I had actually heard at least two or three of the songs off of this before I asked him to remix one of my tracks. And I'm not just saying he's good because he remixed my shit. I'm saying I asked him to remix my shit because he's good.
No, he is good. I've heard his stuff because he's in the server that I own. And he might be on a new album that we are putting out. Noeyesfiend might be putting out. I may have done the album art and maybe advertising it
Ooh,
soon on
shameless plug.
Instagram. But I mean, definitely check. Yeah, Rot Fox. Any of their stuff. I don't know what they have out specifically, but I link what they have on the Bandcamp and whatever. Yeah, and they will be on our Moon Music's next album too. with this person as well over here.
What's this weirdo? What's the next Mune Music comp gonna be called?
We haven't decided yet. It's gonna be a contest. You guys can all decide. Something
Woo!
involving uh, slasher films. We'll see. A
Yeah,
little
yeah,
preview. Well, people have seen the cover, but it'll be exciting. But yeah, Rotfox, back to them. Very talented, especially for a newcomer. They understand what people want, what makes it tick, what people want to
mm,
hear, what sounds good. I'm interested in hearing more of the remix stuff too. Being able to remix, especially in this genre, very well is like a totally different talent, in my opinion, than just like putting it out too.
yeah,
So being able to do that at such a good quality is really good.
yeah. So if you want to get into a brand new act, early and support like their career, like definitely start supporting
Yeah,
Rock Fox right now. Like right now. Go,
true
go.
independent at ground zero artist. Let's go. I mean, that's all of us.
Yeah.
We'll get there one
We
day.
we're gonna make it, bros.
We will. One day I'll be DJing opening for all these crazy people at illegal rave shows. Let's go.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Uh, I guess for my second album, I'll just quickly plug again because I was listening to it. It's a pretty good fall album, I have to say. I think a lot of people kind of tend towards like post punk and synth pop and minimal wave specifically in fall. I don't know what it is. At least I do. Like that kind of just is like that's time, that vibes for it.
Oh
I
yeah.
talked about this in the vinyl haul, but the Sade Bonheur 1992 album, or is it 91? One of those years. It's just called 1992-91. It was extra tracks that they found of the German and female synth pop duo that I gush about all the time. And they put it on vinyl. They had found, or I think they had found a tape of stuff they thought was lost in someone's house, but it was in poor quality. But that reminded someone else that they did have the tape. I think the story goes, and they just put it on vinyl, and it's wicked good. It's like if you like a combination of just like sensual jazz, female R&B with like nice deep husky voices, just a lot of passion and fun, and with like some minimal wave, some synth wave elements. It's definitely something like you would hear on like Dark Entries, something like that.
So
Wicked good
this is like
stuff.
this is some like almost lost media type,
Yeah, they thought it was
like
lost. Yeah, wicked good stuff. I can't ever say enough about Sade Bonheur. Just way ahead of its time. Female synth pop duo, kind of gothy synth pop duo. Just incredible stuff. And yes, there are definitely lesbian overtones, of course, in this one too. So do not worry. It stays on this album as well. So get your queer female dark synth pop. This one's kind of a bit more
yeah,
jazzy, but it's good.
gotta awaken that divine feminine.
Yeah. We're gonna make it something tonight. So what's your last album so we can get to what everyone's waiting for? The
All
synth.
right, so like completely spinning away from the themes and energy of the other two is
Yes.
I fucking love the like whole wave of American dark music coming out right now, and one of the people that's like at the forefront of that alongside Chelsea Wolfe is Emma Ruth Rundle.
Mm.
Um, so I'm specifically recommending EG2 Dowsing Voice. So she just completely left behind like almost all of the rock elements of
Oh
her,
shit.
other albums. Yeah, like this is very stripped down. It's very melancholy. Like, well, all her albums are melancholy, but very minimal. Um, like any vocal work on it, I think besides maybe one track is like grunts or just like distorted howls,
Nice.
and
We're in the freak
there's
folk
tons.
era.
Oh yeah, we're entering the primeval state.
Good, good. You unironically love to hear it. Like the
Yeah,
transition. I especially love when like female artists just kind of embrace such a raw side, like a total avant-garde, like not caring at all. They're just doing whatever. Like I feel like so many female artists, even if they do like darker stuff, whatever, they're expected to like kind of fall into a certain thing. Like maybe you're supposed to sound like a Chelsea Wolfer group or whatever. And I love
Yeah.
women that don't fit any convention. They literally just kind of do whatever. Even in experimental music, like I said, I feel like there's some expectations and they just don't. They go crazy, and that's good to hear. I'll have to check that out. Sounds like a fall album too.
Yeah, like this is definitely some, full moon, like worshiping the old gods type feel. So
Nice. Good. That's what we want to hear. Uh, all right. Did you want to say anything else about that, or do you mean to cut you
uh no, it's just
off?
dark and spooky
Sorry.
album and yeah.
Okay. And then I'll try to. I think everything should be on Bandcamp that we mentioned, so
Oh,
I'll
yeah, 100%.
link it all down below. No more Stalin. Let's go for
No more Lennon.
no more. Yeah, so this is Passenger Shit, which I think people might be a little bit surprised that we picked an album like this. This is Passenger Shit, or POS, could also stand for piece of shit, which I love. Beautiful acronym. One of those artists I think people know about. They try to kind of bury it down a little bit. um, this is music that feels illegal. This is music for people whose favorite episode of Invader Zim was Dark Harvest, which was actually my favorite episode as a kid, unironically. So you're in the right space for that. um, oh man, what an artist, what an album. I mean, what a genre. There's so much unknown to it, and there's so much that could be said, but a lot that's just not talked about. But I think rightfully so. It's kind of, what would you say this is to try to define it? Speedcore, breakcore.
Yeah, this like crosses between a couple different elements. Primarily, you've got like your hardcore speedcore elements. Like yeah, there's almond breaks utilized here and there,
Oh.
but this is just super high tempo, super distorted, and the entire thing sounds like someone took the master tape and just crushed it up. Like
And
yeah,
piss
I
on
definitely I definitely would
it.
call this, like hardcore gabber.
Yeah, Gabber for sure. And like I was saying, I feel like these genres have kind of still kept themselves underground. Like the artists actively try to, for a lot of reasons, and it's respectable. So that's another reason a lot of people might not talk about it. Um, Plus, to this individual, I'll be honest, passenger shit, there isn't a lot of information about them, and that's fine. I think the music speaks for itself. I can respect that they want to keep the music, totally underground. When I mean underground, I mean like these DJs appear like little illegal like shows and raves. Like you have to cross and like cut yourself over metal fences to like sneak into radioactive abandoned buildings to go there, and then the police show up and they think it's a legitimate cult or something and just hope you don't kill each other and leave because they're afraid. That's what we're dealing with.
It's the best vibes,
Yeah.
honestly.
I think I read an article about it, and it was like, if you as a kid like smoked toilet paper, like when your mom wasn't looking, this is the music for you.
It's not too far gone because more than likely that was shitty toilet paper, and so like that completely fits with the aesthetic that he goes with, which is like overly sexualized gore and
Bodily
um
fluid function.
yeah, bodily excretions,
Yeah,
with
you can't
splanknophilia.
splank
Like
no
that,
feel. Yes.
yeah.
Um, yeah, forgive me. I would like to show people notice in the thumbnail that it's a little blurred and censored. I can't show the full cover. I mean, and they'll probably think I'm an absolute loser if they ever see this video or somehow or watch it. I'm sorry. I would love to just
Um,
show it, but I
So
can't.
not to not to fucking not to shit on your parade, but he actually has a YouTube playlist on like his official artist's YouTube that is like his, album reviews and shit of him. So more than likely this is gonna happen. So
Uh, good. Well, only the best for this kind of album with our crappy cameras and terrible explaining of music. Only the best. Spare no
we'll
expense.
stumble through.
um, but yeah, so I guess we'll just kind of explain what we do know. So this album came out in 2001, which whenever I think early 2000s, it's not old to me because was growing up then and grew up in the 90s, so it's still like 2001. I'm like, that's not like old, but it is. It's 20 years old. Um, so this person, Passenger Shit, he's been around in this underground grindcore, speedcore, even I think he does rap too, and all kinds of just underground music in general in Australia. Specifically, comes from the Blue Mountain region, which forgive me because I am American. I didn't even know like about as a region in Australia. It's a wicked cool name. I like that. You can see I'm from the Blue Mountains. That's awesome. Seems like a very interesting place. One of those places that could definitely foster such a unusual mindset of erotic psychedelia and
Hmm.
underground thinking. So this person that we know of, their name is Swift, and I have no idea how to pronounce the last name.
Rowick is how I was told is pronounced because I guess his father actually was a pretty famous artist, or at least a
Yeah,
well-known artist. So
Vernon, I think his first name was.
yes.
Um,
So luckily, I one of my Australian friends, I was like, "You don't have to know how to pronounce this, do you?" And he's like, "Trowick, right?
Trowick.
Like the artist,
Okay,
Trowick."
okay.
So like,
Thank
oh,
you.
okay, thank you.
One less idiot point for me in this video, but we're already in the negative. Doesn't matter. Um, but yeah, like I said, they have. I don't know how long they've had the label for Shitwank, which is where they release all their stuff. Total independent artists, and I think they put out other people too. I know like
Yeah,
there's another artist on there that has the best name ever, which is like DJ Rainbow Ejaculation, and just other
yeah.
people of this mindset. Total crazy nonsense. So I would definitely suggest check out the label, and he seems to be pretty good too about re-releasing his own stuff and his stuff on Bandcamp, and it's pretty cheap too. I have to say. So you can totally support him, even this album, even though it's from
Yeah.
2001. You can still go and support him and give him money directly for it, and even get a physical copy still,
Yeah.
which is
I've
cool.
actually got one on the way eventually.
Yeah, me too.
It's from Australia, so
Yeah. So, yeah, they do crazy music. They have a grindcore. They're in a grindcore group called like Otis Symbowel, which was pretty
yes.
insane. I definitely. So I'm a bit of a newcomer to Passenger Shit specifically, not the genre. I just have so much music. I haven't gotten around to it. So this was great to. I've heard a little bit, but this is great to like really dive in, and I've definitely become a fan. So I would checking out the grindcore and other projects that he was in. Supposedly he was born in 1979, but
Yeah.
everything is supposed.
Reported. Yeah.
No idea. So I only state
Uh,
that just to be like they've been around for a little bit. This is not a newcomer. They know what they're doing.
yeah.
And I think the other big thing to mention with Swift Passenger Shit, I might just keep referring to that, is that he's also a visual artist.
Hmm.
I think before even the music, maybe even more so the music, the things people remember about this artist is the art, the artwork. Absolutely insane, just crazy body horror, disturbing gore, bodily functions. The thumbnail is like excrement stabbing into skin and leaving blood, which I would like to show, but again, um, YouTube might YouTube might not even like all the naughty words. We're gonna be saying the title, and I mean, not that I care, whatever, but I like people to see the video. That's all.
Right.
um,
Like, well, that's the whole reason we're doing this is
yeah,
so people can
exactly.
hear about it.
I wonder too, like, I mean, I like the art. I think it's really cool. I think it's crazy, awesome, colorful outside art, perfect fitting for the music. But I do wonder, like, how alienating the art is for some people. I think I have read people like, I would listen to it, but the covers with like all the shit on it, like very much
Like, I just can't
perturbs
do
me.
groups.
So they're missing out, and I'm sure that is like, and I'm sure he does that on purpose.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
absolutely alienating. And we haven't gotten to music yet, which definitely is not for everyone, even hardcore noise fans. But we'll just uh, we'll just keep talking about the art for a second because I just really like it, and I think I like it because it reminds me of art that I've liked for many many years called an artist called Diana. He's from Florida and he's known for Boiled Angel, which I'm sure if you're watching this, some people might have an idea about that. I actually think they made a documentary recently about it, surprisingly. It was a pretty niche topic, so I'll have to
Like,
check it
made a
out.
documentary
About Boiled
about the.
Angel. Yeah, about the
Okay.
artist. Um, to go on a slight tangent, because it is really interesting and frustrating that this artist, Mike Diana, who made Boiled Angel, he was like the first artist to be arrested by the feds for like obscenity charges for his art, and he lost the case. Even though he's doing comic, he got in trouble. He it lost the case in court again. They just didn't like his art because it was so obscene. Apparently, it's fucking wild. Like he had probation and everything. Like what? It just
Like
it's
they said, we
insane.
can't have this guy corrupting the youth with his
Yeah.
shit art and his, like, what is it? The, like, festering of the god, goo of the gods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His art's great, but it like if you know the Boiled Angel art, the art of Passengerofshit reminds me a lot of it, and I mean that in like the highest honored regard because I love that. Just total like I don't know, it flows, just total non-form things, just going into things, riffing at things, piercing at things, just colors and body parts. You know where nothing begins or ends. It's like it's awesome. I have like I have a few Japanese artists like that too, if I can pull them out. No.
I mean, I've got this Staccato Yamamoto piece right here. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's like a more obscene version of
Oh, here we
that.
go.
Like,
I got Tetsunori Tauraya. A lot of
oh shit.
I really like this. A lot of people like do this kind of art. I'm not trying to take away from Passengerofshit's art, but stuff like this, even more colorful and crazy and gruesome.
Yeah,
Very
his stuff, even though it's, like a mix of scat and horrorcore, it
yeah,
still retains that like psychedelic feel.
psychedelic for sure. I'm just showing
Yeah,
off stuff.
but
It's uh
between just like the surreal design of like the shit or vomit or what have you, and the
yeah.
bodies, and also the color scheme. So,
Yeah, the colors are strong. This is me just showing off cool art. There's a lot of cool Japanese.
oh damn.
Maybe I'm gonna link this uh I can't think of it. The people publish a lot of these weird outsider Japanese artists. So I think it's
Okay.
relevant. You should listen to the music while looking at this.
Passenger shit, perfect music for outsider art.
That's
So,
right. But
which you did touch upon it briefly, like he does, a little of everything. He's actually got several, like, I don't even want to call them music videos. They're like short films and everything that he's done as like MC Bush Pig and also as POS. And
nice.
so like it's not just, he's doing composing or sound
Yeah.
design. It's like brutal, like giant penis splurting blood out of a wall type deal over like a pig corpse, and it's it's a surrealist nightmare is
Yeah.
what it is.
It's
I don't
kind of
know.
like the the end spectrum of what Roz Williams was doing. Roz, you know,
If Roz Williams had any technology, this is probably something like what he would make.
yeah, it was a crazy Australian. But it's just crazy stuff like that. And we brought it up a little bit, but his apparent father, you know, Vernon, he was also did like psychedelic erotic art. You can look him up. Really cool stuff. I didn't know about that,
Hmm.
you know, especially obviously I don't know a lot about Australian art, so this was really cool to learn about. So definitely, it's like he took that what he grew up with and totally warped it, but in a good way. And there's a lot of detail too. I think too, it's not just like these loose forms or whatever in his art too and color. There's so much like detail and thought to it as well.
Yeah,
There's also a lot of like passion and humor to it too. You know, you
yeah,
become don't become, especially once you hear the music. I think some people, if they're new to this kind of like art and music, they might get like nervous or, you know, afraid or whatever,
disgusted. Yeah,
disgusted. They think, you know, the worst thing of this person, but there's so much just humor in it, and like definitely Australian humor, which it will just totally taking the piss out of it. It's pretty incredible, like how much of that there is. It's so cheeky.
yeah. He between like the music itself, there's like that confrontationalism towards like small-minded people, but also in like blog posts or on his website or on announcements or in the like scant mentions of him around the internet. There's like, this music's not for fucking idiots, or this music's not for small-minded people. It's like, this is comedy on top of like confrontation, on
Yeah.
top, like, there's so many avenues and lenses you can view this through. I personally approach it from the absurdist, like, okay, I love drum machines. I love shit. I love making people feel weird. Let's fucking go. So,
Yeah, exactly. Totally. I think too, I read a few forum posts, funny enough, like the Doom World forum, and or appropriately enough, and just other forums trying to get information about passenger ship. And obviously, you get lots of people that are like, "This is so obnoxious," or that, you know, they don't, he doesn't understand like composition and making music and all that. First of all, it's like, who cares? I know it's staring at the music, but none of that shit matters. But also, like, he does though.
yeah.
So I've listened to a lot of like kind of heavy stuff, breakcore, whatever, and there is a lot of thought and idea put into all these tracks. There's surprisingly long tracks too for this genre,
Mm.
and one of the interesting things too I find is like, even though they're like 6 minutes, they feel so much longer, and not like in a bad way. Like these tracks feel so like enormous, like and they're all pretty unique too. I didn't really find the album like blending into each other at all, which a lot of times this genre does for me.
See, that's actually like the that's kind of the opposite experience I had.
Mm.
Not that it felt short or anything, or in a bad way. It's just like it was just so well blended that I was listening to this the first time I heard it, I was listening on a plane, and I was like, damn, this song just keeps going. And it's like, it's not just a constant high, it's high, low.
Yeah.
And then I realize I'm like, oh shit, I'm halfway through the fucking album. So
It is well blended. I think what I mean, like, I can tell each individual track apart, at least for me.
yeah,
And I think a lot of times in this genre they tend to like become one, or like in more of a negative way, they kind of like blend together, or like it becomes
yeah.
one. You're definitely, this genre can become overbearing really fast and blend like really fast, where it just kind of all starts sounding the same, and you're like, wow. Not that it's bad. I mean, if you want to take it all in one break chord chunk, that's what it's for. You go to like a DJ set or whatever, it's just like a bomb. But I think it takes a lot of skill to like make everything sound so. Each track has its own characters to it, is what I mean. There's characteristics. So like, yeah, it does blend together, but like each track stand on its own. It's not like one big cohesive breakcore mess. Well, it is one big break or
I
hardcore
was gonna
mess,
say.
but an absolute a travesty, a trash fire, really. This whole thing, but um,
It's an
yeah, I'm.
assault to moral values.
It's kind of an assault on humanity. I might mark this like this video like not safe for life. This album is pretty not safe for life, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's rare to find like tracks in this genre to have characteristics on their own, like individual like sounds and stuff like standing on their own instead of being like part of like the big whole album.
Yeah, each track is pretty distinctive,
Yeah.
especially like I don't know, maybe once you're sitting with the album versus, like I was traveling, so I was doing stuff the first time I heard it, which oh my gosh, it was like right before COVID, I guess. So yeah, and I just want to mention that up front coming into this, I am a fan of POS. I'm not like diehard or anything. I only learned about him about 3-ish years ago from Mew. We were doing, the like post your music, get
Yeah.
Rex, blah blah blah. And I can't remember what all I had on there, but I know I had Anger Fist at the
Mm.
very top, and someone's like, "Oh shit, you like Anger Fist? Like, what do you like?" And so I was like, "Oh, the horror elements, blah blah blah." They're like, "You need to listen to Passenger of Shit," and it's just been a love since that night. Like, so yeah, I fucking love Passenger shit. Thank you, random Anon. Like,
There, yeah, I learned about him through Mew too on the Bleep thread. God bless Bleep. Try to keep it alive.
fuck
Sometimes it's
yeah.
good. Sometimes not. Bleep is like for people who don't know on Mew. Unfortunately, there's a thread usually every day. It's pretty constant of just techno, or sometimes they'll post like really heavy stuff too. There's kind of anything electronic people will post there. Um, if you go in there and be like, any breakcore man in, people might give you some stuff. It used to be that way.
Or the feds came in. I mean, what?
Yeah. This is anti-Fed music. We stand it.
Everything's a psyop, including this video.
It's true. um, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely anti-establishment music, as contrived as that sound, because this whole genre was to like alienate shitty people within the scene, like the Gabber scene had, an alt right problem. A lot of these underground electronic genres had that problem. So like a lot of these artists, these speedcore artists and all that, like made their music to like push them out more. And of course, this is like I said, little underground music too, just anti clubs, anti consumerism, capitalism, just authority, just wanna fucking smoke that toilet paper and party hard and just be left alone and come together, you know. And
CUM together. Yeah, yeah.
and especially too from the art and videos I have seen of POS and other artists too in the scene and genre, it's reassuring too to see like so many queer and outs like people just being in the scene, making this music, the imagery. It's great.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, because I've been following him for a few years. He's a very open person. May not even go by he. I haven't
Yeah,
seen anything like to counter that, but very open person as far as like, whatever you want to do, and it's like pushing art to the extremes. And so, in my opinion, like we'll talk about the tracks in a second, but in my
yeah,
opinion, like there's nothing for fascists here.
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
or if you're a closed-minded like bigoted person, you should probably like go jerk off to like Hitler pictures or something.
Yeah,
Like
shitty.
like whatever you guys do, I don't know what you do.
Yeah, but yeah, let's get into it. How do I explain this music for people who have no idea? I hate.
I I got it. I got it. A madman locked in a room with a machete and a drum machine.
Yes, absolutely. I don't know. Take like the hardest techno song and just bump that BPM like up by 100, even if it's like 150. um, and for people who might be kind of in the know, it's like, and I really, really hate to bring this up or compare it, but if you know, like Venetian snares, whatever, just like that, but even heavier. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I brought that up. I just, I know.
Always Venetian snares.
Well, I hate like comparing, very talented underground artists to like maybe more well-known artists that everybody goes to for that genre. But
Yeah.
a lot of people that are newcomers have no idea about this. I'm just trying to give an idea of what it
Yeah.
could even possibly be like. It's like trying to explain Dutch to people. I'm like, I don't know. Nine Inch Noise, Nine Inch
Nine
Nails.
Inch Noise. Oh yeah, I
sorry,
love them.
sorry. There's a guy in my Discord called Nine Inch Noise. It's like the best name
Shout out.
ever. But very normal people. Like if you heard, Nine Inch Nails Ministry, yeah, think that, but even crazier. Like, well, we can start from here then,
Yeah.
uh, but yeah. I also just wanted to say, they should make like the total opposite of a sensory deprivation chamber, like a total maximal. Your senses are on fire, and this would be the music they would play with flashing colors and stuff. Get a who's that French director? Why can't I think of Gasparo? Get Gasparo no to direct, get you flashing colors and your visuals, then get POS going.
Um, I'm trying to remember because oh okay. Yeah, no, they made something like that actually. You probably have heard the names Guantanamo Bay.
Oh
Yeah.
yes. Oh, we're talking about feds and their torture again, yet again. Their sound torture. It's Waco 2.0 instead of horse sounds, which they did, by the way, to these poor people all night.
Yeah.
And dolphin sounds.
Yeah.
They play. Yeah, didn't they use Skinny Puppy, right? Like legitimately, this
In
is true.
Guantanamo
In
Bay,
Guantanamo
yeah,
Bay, they use Skinny Puppy to like torture people.
yeah, they use like Britney Spears, Deicide, Skinny Puppy, the Barney song. Like some dude was a Skinny Puppy fan and sent them like proof of the U.S. government utilizing their music and shit for like, sound torture in Guantanamo Bay.
Me
So
being me vibing while on torture.
yeah, I'm just like, it's fucking awesome, bro.
So shit, who made this mix? It's hot.
like, this guy's got taste.
uh,
Like,
well, this is all the vibe. I mean, yeah.
yeah.
Whoever made that mix, you should listen to POS.
But don't torture people. Like for real, please don't.
No, but it's
Don't help the
fun.
feds.
So yeah, let's start.
Okay.
So it's quite a kind of a long album. How many tracks do we got?
Yeah.
16.
Actually,
Well, there's two
18.
extra tracks. Yeah.
Yeah. Officially, it's 16.
So for some reason I don't know if it was my MP3 player or whatever, because yes, I still use one of those, but I couldn't get the last two tracks to work in my download, so I'm at 16. I failed this stream already.
Okay.
But yeah, first track, appropriate. Wait till you hear these title tracks. They're immaculate. I love them. They're thriving. They're beautiful. Stick Dick in Concrete. I like
Oh
that.
yeah.
I like that it's Stick Dick in Concrete. There's no other words. It kind of just like flows and rhymes. Whose dick?
It's
What
almost
dick?
instructional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as soon as you even start this album, you know already what you're getting into, which is always, I think, is always good trait of an album to like start. You know what you're getting into right away with the track.
The best albums let you know on track one.
Yes.
Like,
Um. Yeah, it's just immediately you just get noise and just he has this very good, probably because he's in a grindcore group. This like guttural, like amazing Australian scream. Sometimes his accent comes through, and it's just like awesome. And he like clearly is way too close to the fucking mic too. Like he has it in his mouth, so like you get all of that too. Not every track, but most of the time. Obviously intentionally, like just up in your business, and like yeah, you just get that noise. You get that heavy fucking BPM, just total hitting you up, and him screaming, "Stick dick in concrete." Sometimes he says, "Stick your fucking dick in concrete," which is great. I like. I like when he mixes it up, but it's fun. It like this track is really good too on its own. I think it flows really well. Like him saying "you stick your dick in concrete," like flows with the just.
Flows with the absolute insanity of this mix. Like,
Yes, I like to. I think this track he does it too, where he like kind of pauses the tunes for a bit to say the thing. Like he pauses it to say "stick your dick," and then, which I think is really great. I love. I mean, I like when regular techno tracks do that too. They just like stop
oh
for a
yeah.
second and just that pause is so powerful, and then just immediately just like comes back into it.
Well, you get used to like I love, like acid,
Yeah,
acid
of
technology. And
course.
so you get used to it. You're almost hypnotized and then when it's paused, like your body just starts going like where to go. Your brain's like I need my crack right
Yeah,
now and
yes.
then you hear the lyrics or the sample or whatever, and then boom, it's back and it's like, slipping off the addiction bus.
And doing
Like
it well, I think is very takes a lot of skill. He definitely demonstrates that here. He knows how to pull it back and bring it back in. It's heavy. It's
yeah.
I'm doing that a lot in this video. That's what it feels like. Um, interesting.
But on your skull, like
Yeah, interesting to note on this album. This track is there's a lot of I find a lot of samples that like sound a bit more like they come from like rhythmic noise or industrial. This one in the background. There's like some actual like mechanical rhythm sounds buried deep in there for a
oh
little bit. I find
yeah.
there's a lot of so all these tracks. There's so many layers. It's so like heavy in texture, just layers of like Play-Doh, like rainbow Play-Doh, just over and over. There's so
Rainbow
much going
Play-Doh
on.
thrown on the wall.
Yeah, so and when you mix it together, it turns into that gross, garish color. Perfect. um, so I might hear one thing, you might hear another, but I did find that in this track. But yeah, powerful opening track. Really, like I said, just getting in there, yelling.
Yeah, it's an assault on the ears from the word go, and like everything across the oral spectrum is just competing for attention. So,
Mm,
um, I don't have it marked down here in my, notes and everything, but yeah, I do remember hearing like, different breaks and he does like a great job throughout the album of, chopping breaks and like changing the speed and just keeping it fresh throughout each track. So,
yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like all these tracks, keeping it fresh. Yeah, is definitely what you want in this music. Now, not every artist does it, but he
yeah.
does and does it well. And this track is definitely good litmus test. Like if you don't like this, you should leave
Just
now
get out. Just
because
get
there
out.
are it does get harder in some tracks. So this is definitely you can put that. I mean, you'll know right. Like you will know right fucking away. Like the not even in the 10 second, even 5 second, you put it on, you're gonna know if this is for you or not. Like I
Well,
guarantee it.
yeah, these kicks are like distorted enough to make like a hyper pop artist blush, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
These kicks are tearing into the void and
yeah.
fucking the next dimension. The you ever see the Beyond? The fucking creatures coming out. That's just the guy. That's what's happening here.
Summoning shit demons. That's what he's
Yeah.
doing.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah. That just made me remind me, real quick, what this album kind of reminds me of. When I was growing up, obviously they had Ren and Stimpy, And I used to watch that show, but there was one episode that fucking terrified me, and it still makes me really uncomfortable. Is the one where like I forgot they're on like a planet, a different planet or something in space. It's been so long, and like the fucking alien like abducts Ren, and like tries to like seduces him, pretends to be a chick, and it's like so like the imagery is so gross and graphic. It like totally fucked me up as a kid. Oh, it's just awful. It reminds me of that just like totally alien weird shit. I'll have to find it. Like it's
Oh
something
no,
else.
like they've got those bulbous heads, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
It's not
I
right. Like that was one of those horrifying things as a kid, but this reminds me.
like as a kid you're just like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Ugh. I think it's because they were in such an alien world too, and they're like trying to sleep. It was just so uncomfortable. They're so
Yeah.
threatening. Um, yeah, this all made me think of that. All right, track two, which is a really interesting standout track for a few reasons. So track two is called "Artificial Vagina," and and it's it's funny. I'm usually good at picking out samples, but there's definitely
Mhm.
samples used in this album, and I couldn't pick out any of them. And I can't tell if some of them are just him like actually yelling or saying stuff reading samples or not. It could be, and that's why I don't recognize them. But um, there is like it feels sample heavy this album, whether it is or not, I don't know. But I like that. And this track definitely has a sample of the old school way that they did a penis plasty or making the surgery. I can't think of the proper term. I apologize. Of vagina making a vagina from using the male part in surgery. So there's a sample of like a doctor explaining it, but it's like slowed down and distorted. And
I think it's vaginoplasty,
vagina.
I
I don't know why I
think.
said penoplasty. Ugh.
Uh, that's fine.
I should know. I have all the medical books up here. But yeah, very interesting sample. Makes sense for a track called Artificial Vagina. But what's interesting about this track, it's probably the slowest track on the album. I say slow, but it has like this very like sleazy, gross kind of lo-fi tune vibe. And he's not yelling the lines or the lyrics in this one. He is, but he's not screaming them. But he's like very just distinctly yelling them, but they're very pronounced and slow and hard, which I really like. This and the track does go crazy. It goes boom boom and screaming, but like there's parts where it slows down. Even the drum, the hi hats are and like that just really gross like sleazy lo-fi music comes in while he's yelling his lines, which I can't quite make out in this one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna act like I knew exactly what the lines were. I know this is a little bit less distorted overall than track one.
Yeah,
And like you said, like the hi-hats and everything just sound a little more clear. And that's primarily for like the surgical narration of the, vaginoplasty. Which again, like I don't know if that's a sample from like an instructional video or like
yeah.
that's the great thing about like art made by, people so far removed from like normal shit is,
Yeah.
everyone samples like American Psycho or The Exorcist or but
Yeah.
Passenger of Shit like found a fucking surgical video and was like, this is my shit right
Which is my
here.
favorite kind of samples. That's why I love early SPK because that's like their whole concept is that kind of stuff. I love old improper surgery stuff. um,
Yeah.
the way he's used the sample too in this track, like he plays the sample and then jumps right off of it. It blends really good. Like the track flows really well. Like it's pretty satisfying, which isn't a word you usually use for these kind of albums or genre, but it is. It's composed. See, it is composed well. He knows.
It's very composed. It's very well composed. Yes.
Yes. So yeah, the track two, Artificial Vagina. So track three, which is called Rancid Shitwink Remix. I don't know why the remix is before the track, the regular Rancid Shit wank, cunt, whatever. But it is. This is probably the only track in the album for me that's not like a super standout. This one's just kind of like, and this isn't like a negative thing. This was like a pure fucking just boom speedcore track. Like there's not much going on besides pure fucking explosions and really glitchy sounds and screaming. Like this one has full like screaming with the blast beat. Like yeah, it's just like
Yeah,
it's like a literal explosion. This track. There's not too much to say for me. It's just kind of this explosion for this one, track three.
so I tried finding the song this is like a remix of, and to the best of my knowledge, it's something off of uh Passengerofshit1, the first album. I could be completely fucking wrong. Let me know in the comments that I'm
Yeah.
wrong. But yeah, I've got the vocals are twirled and smeared all across the track in high frequencies. And it sounds like, like this is something he would do to his own track.
Yeah.
Because it's not accredited to anyone else. So I could definitely see him like, you know what, let me just take this and time
Sounds
stretch
like
and
a bad
up
time in
his
the
shit.
bathroom. Sounds like shit.
Yeah, it's still like, I mean, it's still fun track. It
Yeah,
is a
it
little
is.
bit of an energy dip though. Like you start off high with track one, then track two, then track three, and then we go to track four.
It just kind of explodes on your face. Like this is told it's like, um, which is okay because track four is a standout one. This one's looking good. Probably my for me like between track four to track eight, like these next four tracks are like the highlight of the entire album for me. These tracks are all unique and they go fucking in. They're crazy.
Yeah.
So track four is "Crush Your Enemy," and I wish I knew the samples for this one. It could just be him saying it, but it's great. When I fight, I always fight to the death. It's such a great sit. That's so good. Such in the context of the song. It's like crush your enemy. It's oh man, this is total like I don't know. This is Conan, but if Conan made fucking speedcore, totally. It's and again
Conan on crack, man.
the way he uses the samples is so satisfying. You get the fucking blasts and the kicks or whatever, and then it stops, and then you gotta get that sample of the fucking guy going, sings like when I fight, I only fight to the death, then back up, and then it starts up again, and it's great. I think this is the first time we hear an almond break in the album. I could be totally fucking wrong, but there's a distinct
Um,
almond break on this track.
so I want to say so the problem is like whenever you hear a chopped up break, people immediately think it's an almond break,
Yeah,
and it's probably true, especially given for when this was made, which is 21 fucking years ago.
yeah,
Um, So yeah, so I think Artificial Vagina might have had the first one, but this is the first clear one for sure.
yeah,
And yeah, like you were saying, the it starts with the sample and then hits you with the aggressive kicks. And if I'm remembering right, it does blend the sounds of the sample with the kicks.
yes,
Like maybe they're on the same bus or something in the
yeah.
mixer.
It is
I
pretty.
don't know what the fuck he used to make this album.
A trash can, a toilet, a lighter. I think
Lots and lots of, human excretion. So,
the drop bears. They got drop bears in Australia. I know about the
oh yeah,
drop bear.
you know about the drop beers. You'll be safe then.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is pure fucking aggression. Like there's no fucking around on this track. This is, like, crush your enemy.
But
So
it's fun though. It's very campy. This isn't at all like alienating, macho aggression or whatever. This is total like stupid shit. I mean that are like it's fun. I was this track because I was watching Doom speed runs while listening to this album, which I highly suggest. And like, of course, this track specifically is just like fucking Doom. I should watch. I was like, this is just Duke Nukem, the speedcore track. Like, that's the kind of energy this track gives. This isn't. This is Duke Nukem.
This is yeah. This is definitely a over the top, maniacal, like aggressive, hostile, but it still has that camp of like you're watching like that chainsaw fight scene in Mandy with like Nicolas Cage, and then the dude brings out the even
Oh
bigger
my god,
chainsaw, and you're like,
yeah.
what
Yeah.
the fuck?
But that's like everyone's favorite part of action movies.
Yeah.
The over the top obnoxious shit. Yeah, that's what this is. It's just like, oh my god, dude. It's great. First you get the sample and then the okay, feel
Yeah, I
it.
think I feel like this one's probably my favorite track on the album. Like
Mm.
track one started off great, but I feel like this might just because of how fucking campy it is,
Yeah,
this
this
one might be
one's
mine. So,
I feel like this one too. This might be one of the more like the best or appropriate tracks to show someone trying to get into it. It's like it's super crazy, but I think it has enough samples and interesting parts that someone might like get it. Like they'll get that it's not trying to be scary or over crazy or whatever. Like it's like a it's campy. Um, but yeah, like I said, this is kind of the start for the high point of the album for me. Track 4 to like 8. Um, it really hits its high. Like you feel it like
yeah,
right now. This is like the beginning of it, and then so now we're on track 5, which is "Vomit Up Your Ass."
which starts noisy as shit. Like no
Yes,
drums, no clean sample. This is like yeah, it's just it. I almost thought it was a harsh noise wall track at first because
yeah.
it's screechy, it's tearing into your head. Yeah.
I wrote he's really close to the mic on this one. Yeah, this one, he's like fucking like you hear the breath so hard in the mic. It's like yeah, it's powerful. Like he's got a strong cadence to his yell, his scream. It's good. It's awesome. This one goes like wicked hard too. So you got like just his yell, like the really yelling the vomit up. Like he is yelling, vomit up your ass,
Yeah.
vomit up your ass. Like it's an assault. Totally, it's awesome. Like it's crazy.
And the great like to me the great part is he does that classic like gabber like crash cymbal
Mm,
on top of like the drum starting when the drums do kick in after that little like noise wall section of him just deep throating the mic, you
yeah.
know. So to me like that felt like I don't know, I've been listening to gabber since I was like 16 or something, you know.
Nice.
So I was like okay, this feels right. This feels at home, you know?
Yeah. That's a good way. I didn't know how to quite explain that, but you brought that up. Well, like yeah, the gabber, just like crashing cymbal sound, like it's
Yeah.
so distinct, and I think that sound specifically is a sound that alienates a lot of people. I think that one is one of them that's like people are like, whoa, that's like it's like that giant monkey with the cymbals like right next to your ear going. If you can't handle that, this might not be for you. But oh, when it's mixed in well, it's good. Yes, that's a
Yeah.
good way to explain this album. You know what I'm talking about.
Love it. Yes.
Right. Yes, let's vomit up your ass. Where he's just yelling, vomit up your ass, but he's fucking yeah. Like I think that's the thing too. People might not get from us talking about it. These are like grindcore vocals over incredibly heavy 200 BPM gabber track. So
Yeah.
it's pretty heavy. It isn't just heavy
It
electronic; it's all of it put together, which I love. I mean, my favorite thing is like heavy techno with power electronic vocals. It's the best. So I don't know. There's like a mixture of that. It's so good. It hurts.
yeah, and he does have like parts of this well, in this track particularly, there's parts where like I swear to God, he's either using a tracker or a DAW. Like this isn't, you know, analog done because he like has a tearing sound with the drums where they're played so quick together they sound like a note, you
Yeah.
know, which is something that you get from like extra tone now, you know. And I mean, hardcore and hardstyle artists use it too, but it's rare and rarer as like, you know, those styles are moving more and more mainstream. So,
Mm.
um, again, this is, you know, a 2001 album, so versus, you know, the songs from that era, I don't know. It feels great to hear it, especially, you know, listening to it in the future, you
Yeah,
know.
the future.
We're from the future.
Why is everything chrome? Everything's chrome in the future.
Use Firefox.
um, but yeah, crazy track, very good. Um, and he has like this effect that appears a few times. I don't know how to explain it, but like he'll say something and it like reverbs the end of what he said. The voice, it's like bah, and it's like
Yeah.
if I can, it's not just like the sound and the voice, and then the effects come on, and that makes it be. It's like the voice becomes like this
It's
crazy vibrating part of the track. You're just like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on?
I
In a good
almost want
way.
to say it's a re-triggering effect because like different like plugins or even some pedal, you know, like guitar pedals and shit, you can grab like the end of like a delay or a
Mm.
word and then just, you know, so if I say hi and then switch it on, it'll go
Yes,
ah,
that's
you know,
exactly
so
it. Yes, that's what I'm talking
so
about.
I almost want to say it's a re-triggering effect. Maybe he just like flipped the sample multiple times or something, which you know that's also like a great fucking way to do that. So,
It,
but yeah, it speeds it up and it like gives you a disorientating effect, and you feel good. You feel really good.
yeah, it, and I don't know. It's such a satisfying effect too. Like yeah. So track 6, rotting vagina. um, I can't tell. Is this an actual female vocalist they
Yeah,
brought
yeah,
in? Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it is. So he one of his collaborators is a woman. I can't
yeah,
recall her name, and I'm probably like overlooking. Let me see if I can find it on like Discogs real quick. But he does collaborate with different females and different just you know people in general. So
yeah,
um, I'm pretty certain this is one of those cases where this is someone he's collaborated with. God, yeah, I'm not finding her name right now. Maybe once I get the CD in my hands, we can like amend it in the description or something.
yeah. We could
Um,
do that. I mean, unless they don't want to be credited, which is fine. Like I said, I
yeah.
mean, anonymity. It's a hard word for me to say. Seems like a thing that's pursued within a lot of these like groups and artists, which is fine and respectable.
Mm,
Whatever they want. I do know I wasn't surprised to hear a female voice because I don't know if he brought it up, but he does a lot of performance art, like all of these shows and whatever he's doing. It's not just the music to be playing; it's like heavy performance. Like all good
mm,
experimental noise musicians, but I've seen a lot of like femme people with him doing stuff, so it doesn't surprise me at all. And it's quite cool. Yeah, Running Vagina features the femme vocals, and they're strong. They're great. They're super, just more screaming, powerful. She goes fucking in, screaming about rotting vagina. Um,
yeah.
I think she says rotting dick too. I'm not sure. I can't make it out.
I think at one point she does say like, it,
Yeah,
it's just it's kind of funny because in the context of this, you know, we had the artificial vagina earlier, so it's like, oh fuck, what if that's botched, you know? So
yeah,
I mean, you know, this person, like, imagining this one person going through this album, so they just had their, you know, vaginoplasty done, and then they vomited it up someone's ass. Now their vagina is
yeah.
rotting, you know?
Yes. Sounds like a
So,
typical
yeah,
Thursday.
it's quite an adventure.
Yeah, her vocals are great. There's like this weird bubbly glitch sound too that's in the track, which is really interesting. And there are certain points where she screams the word vagina, but like the word itself is very like distinct and has like an effect on it, like vagina, like she screams like vagina, and it's like affected specifically that word, and it's really interesting. It's good. Like they want you to
I,
notice that word in the mix, and they do.
if I was any bolder, I might call this like a femi empowerment trap. Yeah. Like,
I think so. I think like I don't know. There I feel it. There's something to the, like these tracks too, like the total just disregard for your body and caring and all the norms and stuff and gender and like just doing whatever to your partner and just going crazy. Um, it's good. It's kind of
as
freeing,
yeah, cathartic. It's kind of
cathartic. Yeah.
cathartic. Yeah.
Um, you could also have it could also be a case too of like this whole album. I mean, complete. I could be completely off the mark, but this music too could be just like people struggling with some kind of body dysmorphia too, and just like screaming about it, complaining about it, trying to like
Mhm.
get that catharticism, like complaining about their body or how they presume it or perceive it or how they think society perceives it. Yeah, I'm getting pretty deep for the fucking passenger shit, but I think there's something there. I don't know. I feel it too. Just that having to complain about it, how you perceive it, or how you feel you should perceive it. Especially as a woman or
Yeah.
even a guy, because there's something to like taking in like a lot of this fetish or talking about or exposing it is also like you have control of your body in a way that normal people don't do or they don't want you to do or have that kind of control or desire for your own body or others, and you're kind of taking it back.
Well, I'm not like, I mean, I'm into it, in my personal life, but I'm not into the larger community overall. But I can say that things like consent and consideration are definitely way more prevalent, not just in like the LGBT, dating pool and stuff, but like in the fetish communities where there's
Yeah,
like like I'm not trying to be too TMI in any sort of direction, but I mean, we're talking about, rotting vaginas and shit. Um, but like the BDSM, Dom and orgies and
yeah,
bottoms and all that shit, like there's a lot more, in my opinion, just from what I've seen, this is all anecdotal, a lot more like trust between people and just that like hey is this okay to do type deal because like
yeah,
if you're a experienced dom and I'm speaking as an experienced switch, if you're experienced in one direction or another, like you know each other, you know your limits, and if you're
absolutely.
playing with other people you're going to like like hey show me, teach me, let me know, you're not going to be an asshole and just like
Mm-mm.
abuse them or something, so
Yeah, those are people I don't know what they're doing. The whole point is the power of consent and trusting someone with. I mean, the basis of all of that, any fetish, any weird stuff, is consent because you're giving yourself away or you're having this person give themselves to you in a
yeah.
total way. They're giving their autonomy to you, and that's part of the whole thing. And that at the bottom line, there's trust there. So you have that, and then you can build off of that and do whatever crazy thing.
Yeah, like, bombing up your ass.
Yes, we support Roman showers on this channel.
Yeah. Whatever you're into, like that's you guys.
Absolutely. um, but yeah, great track. It could also be interpreted as just like, oh, I kind of feel this to listen to some kind of like trauma thing. Your how you perceive your body is different sometimes when certain things
Mhm.
happen or trauma. It just could be your way of coping or taking it back. There's a lot of ways. I don't know, but people screaming around vagina. That's the track. It's great. Especially if you want to hear some more like screaming female vocals and like Gavin hardcore tracks. There's quite a few of that in a lot of his work. I find, which is cool. I like that.
Mm.
So yeah, track 7. This is probably my favorite track, even though it's brutalize my penis. Track 7, fantastic track.
It's more down tempo than, in my opinion, than the rest of the album so far. I didn't like BPM analyze this or anything, but
BPM.
it just feels more down tempo, at least until about like 2 minutes in. So
I think because there's another distinct break. You can hear the break in this track. It has this really great, like, weird, like, horror video game synth jig. I apparently wrote that in the background, but it works, like, so well. It like blends in with the super heavy hits, the kicks that, like, it I don't know. It's great. It's just a really standout. I'm pretty sure he's saying brutalize my penis in your mouth. I think that's what he's saying, and that's just great. It's sort of that screechy right in the mic was like. Psh, psh, psh. He's just saying brutalize my penis in your mouth. He just like comes at it though. He's like, oh, it's just great. If only someone would tell me. Jesus, I've seen what you've done for us now.
hang on, let me tag Pigswell at
No.
this time mark. Um,
No.
no, it's like it gives me sex in the Halloween section of dollar store
Yeah.
vibes. Like,
The dollars. Yes.
yeah. You're wearing like the cheapest Scream outfit
Yes.
with a fake blood knife, you know?
Oh, and it's so good. Then you go to the bathroom. It's a little dirty. It's just, yeah. There's gonna be blood on that dollar store, that Dollar Tree, fucking
Yeah, even
tile.
cheaper.
It's just, yeah. I don't
Just go
know.
get freaky in the Five Below.
The little synth part, wherever he sampled this, or he probably just made it. It's so like cheesy, but it's good. It just like mixes it so well. Yeah, I think it does help give this like that kind of Halloween cheesy vibe. I can't explain it, but it does. This track and the next track too are my two favorite tracks on like the whole album, and it's interesting that when I was listening to these, I was watching a speed run of the first video game I ever played. Actually, one of my favorites is Zombies Ate My Neighbors for
Oh,
the Super
good one, good one.
Nintendo, and I was listening to this while I was watching the person play it because I didn't feel like opening my emulator. I could have played it, but I was zoning out. But if you know that game, this music kind of really suits the Zombies Ate My Neighbor vibe. Like, and especially the next track, the little like synth sounds in the background, like the melody playing, it kind of sounds like almost, I don't know, my brain thinks of the music in the game maybe because I was watching it, but it reminds me of the tunes in the game. I actually messaged
Yeah.
POS that I sent to that message saying that I felt this reminded me of Zombies Ate My Neighbors. They saw it though. They didn't respond, but I was
Uh,
seen, which is fine. Someone has told them, and they are aware that someone has compared their music. Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
they're probably like, I'm gonna wait and see what these fuckers say about me, and then I'll either like blast them or just passively
Ooh.
ignore them more, you know?
Or both. Oh, I hope. Ooh.
Yeah.
Gonna get both.
To be blasted by passenger shit.
Jesus, I've seen what you've done for others.
Yeah, okay, just real quick aside, some fucking idiot was buying like tons of military storage crates or whatever the fuck he was buying, and they were all supposed to be empty, and he found like as he's going through making sure they're, cleaned out, he found that they're loaded down with like guns
Oh
with the fun
no.
switch on them, and he calls the ATF to come pick them.
Fuck that.
Okay, so that just, like, Jesus, I see what
Yeah.
you've done for others. Anyways,
God damn.
sorry.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
let's
it's
go
true.
back to wank fucking
No.
cunt because
It's so true. Well, we're on Brutalize a Penis, but that's over. But that's my
okay.
favorite track. But I think equally my other favorite track. These two tracks like together are great. Is Wank Fucking Cunt, like one of the best tracks on there. This one definitely gave me the Zombies Ate. This is the track I told him gave me the Zombies Ate My Neighbor vibe. But there's like it. It just flows so well. It's him screaming "Wank Fucking Cunt," but it's I don't know. the way the beats goes, and then like this one also has like a little weird like
Oh,
horror
no, no, no,
synth
no,
jig in the
no.
background, and like the way it like blends in with the fucking beat, the I don't know. It like it's just layered so good, and it's like this is like the best workout track of the album. This is it. This is I don't know. This is like the most like melodic track, I guess. Somehow I use that. I shouldn't have said that. People are gonna totally get the wrong idea, but it is. It's just composed so well. There's just so many interesting samples. It's a long track too, and like it just
Yeah.
goes fucking in and out of being absolutely crazy. And there's a bunch of screaming, and I think, uh, no, I can't remember if it was this. I don't think it's this track. I don't remember if it was this track or the Crush Your Enemy track where it sounds like someone struggling on the toilet. Like they're screaming in
Uh,
pain. I can't remember. I forgot to write it down. But someone's definitely screaming in pain in this one. So that's why I thought of it.
yeah, so this is probably like my second favorite track on the album just because like you said, like the programming and samples, like this is actually a very impressive array of cuts and chops on
Yeah.
both drums and vocals.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm not, I'm I'm not sure if that's just a up-pitched drum sample going wow 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 wow
Yeah.
or what, but yeah, it sets in its own groove, and so the whole thing flows together, and it does hit you pretty fucking hard. There's even like pure noise sections where just I don't know what the fuck that is. It's just turned
Yes.
up to 11 and
Yeah.
garbled in the
Yes.
mix.
And then there's yelling,
So
like really suffering, fucking screaming, yelling. Like it's intense. Yeah.
like
Um,
this album is just so fun. Like,
yeah, this is
honestly.
fun. This track is like peak fun. Like this is like the top, which is funny because it's like the middle point too, which makes sense.
Yeah.
I think yeah, groovy is definitely the word. This track is very groovy. Earthworm Jim would approve. Earthworm Jim going groovy and play the fucking Super Nintendo breakcore. Let's go. Yeah, this track gets me like pumped. Like, this is a breakcore track to get you pumped. It's like yeah.
Machine Girl, eat your heart out. Yeah.
Machine Girl could never. Fuck that dude. Ugh. I said it. He could never.
Damn.
I mean, a lot of these artists, even this genre, could never. I mean, it should be unanimously known that Passenger shit is pretty like up there, top tier. And it's not just
Yeah.
like blast in your face, like especially this track. It's just like really well made. Like the layers are
Mm.
thought out, they're put together, blended, and it sounds good. Like this is thought, surprisingly. Like this
Yeah.
is like excellent. Like this isn't someone knows what they're doing, despite even though they're making fucking crazy ass Australian gabber to smoke toilet paper too. They know what they're doing and they know what they want to do.
Yeah, I feel like if he really wanted to, he could probably make like an Odessa or like Illenium or like one of those like big room, like
Yeah,
modern
that's a
mainstream.
good way to put it.
But instead he's like, no, man, like if I start talking about shit in front of 50,000 people, like I'm gonna have 50,000 ticket refunds. So, I'm just gonna find my like 20,000 nerds out in the middle of fucking nowhere that love hearing about, mutilated vaginas and brutalized
and
penises.
and
That's gonna be my crowd.
pee pee
So,
poo poo. Yeah. So that's wank fucking cunt. And I love that word cunt. I love that like Australians are obsessed with the word cunt. That's like my
yeah,
favorite
fucking
thing.
cunt.
It's just so I watch like a bunch of Australian YouTubers and they say cunt so much and I love it. It's cute.
It doesn't even garner like a PG-13 rating anymore. It's like accepted over there.
I've had this conversation with people for some reason, but like there's like no good word for like female genitalia or like vagina. I should say
Hmm.
female just genitalia, just like vagina. Like vagina sucks. I don't know. Pussy's kind of creepy. I don't know what I say,
It
but like
is, yeah.
cunt's a good word. Cunt's a good word for.
and like you get the right tone to your voice,
Yeah.
like like a good femdom, can make it sound sensual too, like,
Yeah.
do you want this? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna like
Cunt.
degrade myself by attempting that impersonation. So.
Please don't. It's also just like it's one of those words too that like, you're just like really pissed with it. That's like you cunt.
My fucking
I
God.
don't know why, but like such a stupid thing to bring up. But I had seen that movie. This is the End, the Seth Rogen movie in theaters with like a
Oh
friend that went to
yeah.
see it, and like I think was it Danny Bonaducci? He just straight up called Jonah. It's like all he says to him is like Jonah Hill, you cunt. Like he just calls him like just says you cunt. Like what the fuck?
Is that when like Jonah Hill's possessed by the demon or whatever?
I think that's when Danny Bonaducci's like telling them all off, like
Oh, yeah,
how
yeah, yeah.
like how much assholes they really are, which they are. He just like calls them all out, but
Yeah.
just call it says Jonah Hill, you cunt. He just just I don't know why that sticks. um, he calls Seth Rogen duplicitous taint, which is like the best fucking thing ever. Taint's a good word. That's a
Yeah.
anyway. Yeah.
Need a album title like using the word taint at
There
least once.
there is an album title called Taint, or is it the project name? There's an industrial album called Taint, and it's good.
Oh shit. Okay.
Ron from Triple R Records gave it to me for free. Actually,
Dude,
he gives
that's
me
what's
free
up.
records sometimes. Yeah, just take this. Love you,
So,
Ron.
whatever. You fucking nerd.
Shout
Here you
out to
go.
R Records, Ron. Let's go.
Here you go.
Anyway, track 9, Egg Size Brain. It's like an interlude track where
Yeah, I think it's the shortest track on the album.
yeah,
No, second shortest. Second shortest.
and it's like my dude's talking about there's like a sample or someone just talking about egg sized brain. It's a little mini explosion track. There's not much to say. It's a little
Yeah,
interlude.
he's like it's like I think it's the first clean sample on the album, undeveloped egg-sized brain,
Yeah.
and then back to the noise,
It's like, yeah, that's
stuff
how
like
I feel right now. That's me. He's just like me for real.
for real, for real. Yeah,
uh
yeah, it's a very noisy track, indecipherable yelling, and then that clean as fuck sample, like
yeah.
undeveloped egg-sized brain. It's like
It's
I don't know if
it's
he's paying people to say this or he's saying it in like the most, like
mundane
Rockwell
way.
voice.
Yeah, Rockwell.
Yeah, like Agent Dale Cooper.
Don't get me started. Oh my god, it does. Don't get me started on the Twin Peaks shit right now.
I've triggered. No.
uh, yeah, yeah. This is what you hear in the Black Lodge. This album. So, but like in the background, this is what my Black Lodge sounds like. I should say. Every
I
Black
say, isn't
Lodge
the
is
Black Lodge like smooth
personalized.
jazz music?
Every Black Lodge is personalized. This is
Oh
mine.
shit! Fuck! I just revealed myself.
uh, that was a weird tangent.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, no, no. I'm on my David kick. It's okay. David Lynch. If David Lynch listens to C Chord, it's like that means like, oh, that cute girl is listening to. It's David Lynch. And he's listening to, this is him like this. He's got a cigarette, and he's listening to Passenger shit.
I need to know that David Lynch has listened to Passenger shit. Like I need that verified. Like I want that in my life.
He's like, wow, give me a glass of water. My socks are on fire. This is great stuff. He's got to do the hand thing. Wow, Passenger of shit really, I don't know, it's like Montana Draw. I'm trying to think what he would say. Wow, this is
Passenger of
crazy.
shit really gets my feet moving.
This is some crazy stuff, Sonny. This is loud.
And he's like I know he's not entirely a wholesome person given like his output and everything, but when you're watching like an interview with him or the phone interview, the movies on phone interview is my favorite because he's just like, talking about whatever, and then he's like, and I looked at this guy and I said, "You must be a fucking idiot if you think you can watch movies on a fucking cell
Oh
phone.
yeah, I've seen that clip. He's like on a fucking phone. He like builds it up. He's like on a fucking phone. Look at David
Yeah,
Lynch hand thing.
like
You think
David Lynch.
you can watch it on their fucking phone? It's passenger shit. David Lynch approved. It comes together.
This has not officially been licensed by David Lynch. Please do not spread this rumor.
In my dreams though. He comes to me in my dream. And Dream David Lynch approves passenger shit. He can't deny that. Well, so the next track is appropriately enough called "Stupid People." Perfect. They're just like me for real. um, wow, stupid people. uh,
Or
so
just like
anyway, so I noted that this is probably the most or second hardest track on the whole album. This is a really fucking hard track. Like this track absolutely goes in. Uh, just you got like legitimate metal clanging. Like it just
yeah.
sounds like he sourced like legit just banging on. Like I always joke banging on
Oh
trash
no.
cans, but like literally that's what it sounds like for real. Like he probably did task cammed right to the aluminum with the stick,
Right inside of it. Yeah.
which is great. It sounds great. The beats that just blast in your face are insane. Like this track with the just fucking yelling at stupid people. I'm pretty sure he's saying other stuff too, but like this is an aggressive track too. Like he's definitely being confrontational aggression here. Like totally, this track is insane. Total like tonal shift too from like the wank fucking cunt, next size brain. Like you get that interlude and then it just jumps into this and it's like whoosh, it's heavy. You're like holy shit. Even though this whole album's been heavy, like I don't know the way this is placed and the tonal shift, like you notice it. It's definitely insane. At least for me.
Yeah, this is like at least for me it's like ATR because you start off I mean everything's like, ATR anyways. But it starts off like you said with that clinging sound and you've got the vocals and the kind of in the background behind the clinging sound and then it starts building and the drums get heavier and more
Yeah.
distorted and like this is anger. This isn't like I mean it is bouncy and fun, but this isn't
Yeah. This is
like you
aggression.
said like wank fucking cunt is yeah, this is aggression. This is the hormonal brother of uh crush your enemy. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like I mean it's called Stupid People, so I feel like this track is just legitimately him bitching about people, stupid people or people that piss him off. Like totally like this track, it's nuts. It's so
Yeah.
aggressive. Yeah, that's what I not like I said, not too much to say about that one besides like very like distinct metal clanging and like, probably trash can sounds and like just it being
Yeah.
really aggressive. Um and then track 11, which is untitled. This is another really short interlude. Very crunchy. That's what I wrote. Crunchy screaming. Like this is a very crunchy track, like interlude. I don't know.
This is the shortest track on the album, excluding track 17 and 18, which are the hidden tracks. So this is just noise.
Yeah.
I can't make out, maybe I'm wrong, but I couldn't make out any drum beats or anything.
No.
Like this is screaming and noise and screaming and noise and
Which I like. So all good.
yeah.
This is for the noise fans out there. As
You get
a
a whole like 3 minutes noise fans.
what? This is just noise. Where are the drum beats? I want the breakcore. All right, David. Well, don't worry, David Lynch, because after Untitled, track 12, which I wrote might also be like the hardest track on the album too, which is Guts Fucking. I do really like this track too. This is yeah, I can't decide between this or Stupid People. It might be this one as like just the absolute like just sound wise hardest track that isn't like just pure noise on here. Um, you got
So
the repeat. So what?
I'm sorry. You're just like I can't decide between this and I I'm just saying in my notes for this one, I've got a caps lock like the blasting drums are back and
Yeah.
even faster than ever.
All right. So it's decided. It's decided. Guts fucking is the hardest track on Passenger of Shit. Please check it out. And that repeated vocal sample is back at the thing you're talking about, where it's like they take the end of the word and it like comes the effect there. I forgot what you called it earlier.
That's okay.
Yeah, but it like the fucking the words become affected and it like repeats into like a pattern and like another layer and it's like absolute insanity. I wouldn't say it's like as mean spirited as aggressive as like the Stupid People track, but it is fucking like hard and aggressive. Like he is fucking those guts. This is pure fetish to great shit. This is insane. This is Guro. This is the Guro track. Um, I just wrote the yells are fucking nuts, which is a weird. Like I usually have more like distinct sounds or notes, but I wrote the word fucking.
The cries of gut fucking and fucking your guts. This is a splankophilia anthem.
Yeah, this is
Like
it's crazy. What can I say? He's talking about fucking guts, and it's like great. Like this, like I said, this is the track. If you're into Dark Harvest, this is it. The real ones know. the the girl fins are out.
so I just want to say like we're 12 tracks in at this point and there's a distinct lack of cannibalism in this
Yeah.
album. So I'm a little bit disappointed.
Well, you got plenty of corpophilia there.
Yeah, yeah. Like there's a lot of corpse fucking, but I feel like he drew a line. It's like I'm not gonna eat them though.
I meant corpo. Am I not saying it right? Corpophology. I can't pronounce the word. When
Uh,
the fetish for eating.
necrophilia.
No, let's talk about
I'd like.
eating shit.
Yeah, not sure.
Coprophilia. It's something like that.
Coprophilia.
I don't like to know that word. It's not my
It's like
thing.
moist for a lot of people. Like they don't like moist, you
That
know.
word doesn't bother me. I don't get that.
Yeah.
The There's other words that like annoy me, or like there's words that annoy me. I wouldn't say gross out. Like snag, I hate that word. Probably because I see it so much on fucking like Reddit records. Like, oh, I snagged that record. Shut up. I just hate that word. I don't know. I don't know.
Bro, you bought it. You saw it and you bought it. You didn't fucking like pilfer it or some shit. Like, no.
You didn't
You
pilfer
didn't put your arm out and catch it as it was
it.
flying past in the wind. Like, you didn't snag shit. You fucking bought it.
Or like I hate the term like, oh, I'm kicking myself for not doing this or getting this. Like, dude, shut up. You suck. I hate you. I don't know. Shut up. I hate you. No, you didn't snag it. No, you're stupid, or you say. You're not kicking yourself. You're an
Stupid
idiot.
people.
Thank you, David.
Appreciate it, David.
Thanks, David. Very cool. uh,
So anyway.
so yeah, if you just want to right away, like, a taste of the absolute insanity of Passenger shit, like, total, like, get into it, throw it in, yeah, check out the track Guts Fucking. Then you'll really know if this is for you or not. This is, like, pure, just like him. The samples, the topic, the yelling, the layering, the noise. It's crazy. Aggression, camp, you get it all. Very maximal track. It's good.
Hmm.
I wrote fucking nuts on it, so.
Fucking nuts, bro.
So yeah, after that we got track
Rip
13.
your tits
What a
off.
track name. Rip your tits off. I like that it says yeah, rip your tits off. Sounds like a asshole like me. Rip your tits off.
I'm gonna rip your tits off, mate.
Yeah. I want to hear him say mate. That's right. I'm gonna have Australian slander in my video. That'll make him mate.
That'll make him pay attention.
They can't inhabit like 90% of their island, Dinosaur Island, so they gotta make music like this.
Oh shit. Damn.
They gotta live on like the outskirts because it's like too hot out in
Oh
the
yeah.
middle.
It's like dry as fuck.
Yeah.
Which, you know, Okay, just I'm sorry, real quick aside, like you would think someone would just build like a canal right into the center to make a giant lake to make it more habitable. I don't,
They
whatever.
made that
I'm
joke
stupid.
before. I think it was Interhistorian made that joke like many kudos. So they talked about doing that.
Yeah, yes, it's like what the I'd been thinking that for years, and then I saw that video, and he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, like why don't you guys do this? You have tons of money, just do it, just fucking do it.
Too busy guts fucking. So yeah,
Yeah,
rip your tits off. I think the female voice appears in this track too. I think it's both of them in this one, or at least I think throughout the tracks, like her voice appears as screams in some of the tracks. I can
yeah,
remember
I
distinctly.
think I yeah, I think you're right on that. Because there's times too where there's like clear melodies and stuff. Because the drums are very start and stop. They're not, a consistent force throughout the thing.
Yeah.
So I'm I'm like skimming through it right now as we're talking, and I can kind of make out the female vocals
Okay.
and what might even be like a old school hip hop sample
There's
near the end. So
yeah, there's like some other tune in there. Definitely, that one's definitely sampled. I think, which makes the track
yeah.
sound good and distinct. I like that. I definitely noticed
Mhm.
that the first time I listened to it. Besides,
So
how wild it is to have a track called "Rip Your Tits Off" and saying it, which he does. I feel like this track too, his Australian accent actually like really comes out, which is funny. I love it. I think it's cute. Passenger shit. I think your Australian accent is lovely. I,
he's just up on stage like screaming into a mic and you're like, "Oh, isn't that adorable?"
Oi, mate. I don't know. He's got to bring it back. I want to see you in the cork hat. Let's
Oh my
go.
God.
He's gonna hate me. Good. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, there's like I said, not much to talk about this track. It's just crazy, wild. Yeah, female in his vocals, both screaming. He's saying he's gonna rip your tits off. Like he said, there is some kind of sampled track in there. I'm curious to that because it sounds really good. I am wondering like what his idea of what sounds good with his music is. That'd be very interesting. But I understand too. A magician never reveals his shit, his secrets.
His shitty secrets. Yeah.
He doesn't. A magician doesn't lift the trash can lid off to show the insides of a trash. We can only rummage through it like dirty little feds to get that DNA sample. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
All about the Glow Boys
The
tonight.
Glow
Damn.
Boy, David Lynch, Glow Boys, it's all connected. Um, let's see. 14, track 14 is
Oh my
dumb,
fuck suck shit.
dumb fuck suck shit. Like, it's like the fucking end of the South Park movie, and Eric Cartman, like, has to swear a bunch to, like, how, because he got his chip is bugged,
Like the
so he, like,
Pikachu powers.
yeah, he has that chip, but it's like fucked up. So like he's shooting out electricity. He swears so much, so it's just like, yeah, do it, Cartman. He's just like fucking shit tits, bloody tampon donkey, frozen. I don't know what the fuck.
Fucking Uncle Fucker.
Yeah, dumb fuck suck shit. Yeah, it's just like that, and I approve. I love it.
Yeah, production wise, like this moves more into the higher frequencies than most of the other tracks so far.
Yeah, it definitely
I'm sorry, I'm
does.
just thinking about Cartman like saying,
Yeah.
"Dumb fuck suck shit, dumb fucks." But, but yeah, the vast array of like drum patterns used to keep the energy moving.
Yeah.
This all adds to like the energy buildup and I'm pretty sure they're samples. I'm mostly sure. I'm not a crate digger, so I'm not gonna be like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's Thomas Brown from 1962. But he's like got him like goofily shifted in different,
For
up and
sure.
down. So the refrain of like just dumb fuck suck shit.
Yeah. He's doing it on
Yeah, it
purpose
all
too.
it's all goofy, and it's all over the top, and like
It's
it's just it's fun to listen to. It's fun. I'm sure it was fun to make
oh,
too. Like
I'm sure all of this was wicked fun to make. For some reason, I wrote like it sounds like Super Nintendo sounds, and it's quirky and
yeah,
funny. Like I don't know, I don't know why I'm so on the Super Nintendo vibe on this fucking album. Because Zombies Ate My Neighbor is Super Nintendo. Lucas Arts game, ooh, but like,
whoa,
I don't know. I just get that vibe from this track specifically. I wrote like this is probably like the most like quirkiest, funny track, and whenever I use the word quirky, I mean it in, like the actual sense, like interesting, weird, campy. I kind of use it interchangeably a bit with like campy and fun. Yeah, it dumb fuck suck shit. Like this track is definitely just like taking the piss, just fucking going at it, just having fun, totally.
like turn the seriousness down to
Yeah,
zero, which
exactly.
you really needed after like guts fucking
Yeah,
like
and then even rip your tits off. There's a lot of screaming sample. A lot of these. There is like aggression. So it
yeah
is fun. Like yeah, yeah. So that's that track. That's a fun one. That's a good one. That one
yeah.
could be worth like showing to people too. Like you're interested passenger shit. Well, here's dumb fuck suck shit. And like what? Like yep, that's just what he's about. And if you like it or you don't, like this is definitely a litmus
You can
test
take it or
track.
leave it.
Yeah.
I feel like if someone stumbles across this as like a young person like 10, 12 years old, and they make like passenger shit their identity, their mom's just gonna like their parents are gonna be like, I didn't even think like shit like this was possible, like humans have these thoughts, like
Yeah.
I,
As
I hope
his
there's like plenty
identity.
of like adolescents doing that,
Oh my god, making fucking core albums their identity. And
Yeah.
fucking uh I was trying to think of a really aggressive album. I was like, oh, that's my identity. Fucking Pissgrave is my identity at 12. It's good grindcore.
I
Um,
was lame as like Marilyn Manson's my identity.
Mine was Ramstein. And Cake. You
Yeah.
know the band Cake? That was Dead Can I don't know. I was a fucking wild kid, but
Yeah, no, like Dead Can Dance. Oh my God. Oh,
Enigma
they're
and
so
Dead Can
great. Yeah.
Dance, that was part of my identity, totally, as a kid. Most, especially in high school, Ramstein. It was like Ramstein, Nine Inch Nails, Cake, for some reason, Dead Can Dance, Gorillas. I liked a lot of Gorillas. Enigma. What else did I listen to a lot of? Just that garbage. Only the Downward Spiral, though, and the Fragile. I was like, oh my god.
Only
uh,
the good albums.
only the good albums. That's right. um, I don't know why in my head now I'm thinking of David Lynch calling Trent Reznor today. You idiot!
Oh, I complete aside, I just want to say like I love Dead Can Dance for like expanding what goth like I know they didn't set out and say like we're making goth music,
Yeah,
but they
yeah.
got like adopted into the genre, and so it like just opened up like goth is like all so much more, and so like even now like when I'm talking with younger people, like I'm officially
You're an old
elder
man.
goth
You're an
now.
elder goth. That's true. You're in your 30s. You're an elder goth now. How dare you? You're so old.
Uh, but when I'm talking with people, I'm like, yeah, you really need to check out Dead Can Dance if you like, X, Y, and Z. And they're like, what the fuck's that? I'm like, it's like the best goth music ever. And then they come back to me and they're like, the fuck are you talking about? Goth
This is
music? Like, there's no
Rainforest.
bass.
There's no rain stick in fucking goth music. Well, they're relevant because they are Australian. So there you go,
Oh,
Australian
oh
band. And
shit.
then,
Okay.
to be fair, the very first debut album of Dead Kid Dance is like it is post punk. It is actually kind
Okay.
of a gothy album. They kind of expanded. It's kind of like Current 93. Like he started as like pure raw industrial, and then he went into like the freak folk and the neo folk stuff.
Oh, that's
Well,
cool
that's
as
a whole
fuck.
other tangent. We're talking about breakcore here. Sorry, passenger shit.
Anyways, let's
He's
bring it back.
um track. We got 2 tracks left. That's what we're gonna talk
Okay.
about. Unless you want, I didn't hear the bonus tracks because I'm a loser. So if you want to discuss them,
They're real quick, like, just give
Mhm.
summaries.
So
Like, yeah.
15 is I hate this track name. I'm not gonna lie. It's Suck My Turd. It's the worst. It's like it's just I don't know. Gross. I don't know why. I'm not grossed out. I was just like, yeah. What she did his
Well,
job. He's probably happy about that.
well, and like the funny thing about it is like we're so far into the album, we're almost at the end of like the listed tracks and everything, and this is probably again, my opinion, the most traditionally structured track.
Yeah, it kind of is. I was kind of surprised, like listening to that. It was just like, oh, okay, that's pretty true. I didn't even have any notes for this track. It's kind of just like blank, just like yeah.
Yeah,
I wrote it's speedcore. That's what I
yeah,
wrote.
it's all speedcore, speedcore. Just don't call it extra tone.
Oh no! I keep interchanging speedcore and breakcore this whole episode, and I don't care.
Yeah,
And
It-
Gabber,
it's all derived from Gabber, which is
yeah.
derived from this, and blah 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 blah. It's
You,
fast, it's loud, it's aggressive.
it's
We like it.
obnoxious. It's like I'm like that fish in Finding Nemo. He's like, I'm obnoxious. It's like,
What's your character trait? I'm
well, like the
obnoxious.
kids are introducing themselves to Nemo, and like one's like, I'm H2O intolerant, and one's just like, I'm obnoxious. Like, what the fuck? Who wrote this? It's amazing. That kid, that is that fish. That he made passenger shit. He's got breakcore as his personality as a preteen. Totally, the one that's going. I'm obnoxious.
I'm
That
obnoxious.
that's the kid. That has that.
Oh man, yes,
Yeah.
I definitely support that.
So yeah, track 15, "Suck My Turd," which is spelled Terd. I might add, unless they spell it like that over there. Here we would do Tud. So,
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just regional difference,
yeah,
probably. Yeah.
um, it's breakcore.
Yeah.
And then the last track, supposedly, besides the 2 like hidden tracks, what is this? The fucking 90? We get well, I guess it's not that far off. We get the hidden tracks, but
2001.
track 16, Eating Cunt, fantastic name. I just had like this is total screaming and agony. Like the most agonizing screaming samples are in this track. It's breakcore and it's screaming. I think it's both of them again. I think it's the male and female like screaming together at the same time, suffering at this final
Yeah.
track and talking about dining fucking vagina. They're saying itakimasu before they go in on the vagina. For the
It, it's so weird. You're like, like it's just like the worst screaming ever. Because like my notes for this are eating or ending on a fun romp of break samples and giddy bouncy drums, and like
well,
I don't know. I'm feeling the joy.
it
Like
definitely is. I mean, like they're not. I don't find them bad or agonizing. I'm saying like their screams sound like they're in pain while this is going on. Is what I mean.
yeah, okay.
That's what I mean. I mean agonizing for them. It's good. It's good music for you, bouncy. They just sound like they're going. They're suffering pain. It's good.
Well, well, maybe like whoever's eating the cunt is using teeth.
Oh,
Like
getting feisty in there.
ah,
Ew. bet,
ouch.
I bet David Lynch eats vagina like that.
Well,
He
I would hope
with
he
teeth
does.
with the teeth. Says Trent. That's, that's what he meant. That's what Trent meant. He said with teeth.
With teeth.
Says it's so weird though. I can't like. Someone pointed out to me how he says like with teeth in that track, and it ruined the track for me. He goes like with the teeth, and it's like I don't know the way they said it, just like because I was always like on the fence about Whipped Teeth. I'm like, yeah, it's okay. And then like I re-listened to it, and then the stuff was pointed out. I'm like, this album is really fucking cheesy and not like the good fun way. Like, what is going on, Trent? That's a whole nother discussion I won't get into. But with the teeth,
So every once in a while, like, okay, our local rock radio station plays like, the same fucking like 100 or so songs and
yeah.
whatever. But every once in a blue moon, like if Rammstein's in Chicago, they'll play like fucking, one Rammstein song
Well,
or, whatever. And
yeah.
so one time I remember I was driving home and my like Zune was dead, so I was like,
Oh
fuck, I'll
no.
listen to the radio. And so I just dated myself. I had a Zune well after it was discontinued.
I want to zoom
But
now.
I put it on and fucking that Nine Inch Nails song's on, and I'm like, what?
Ah.
And like the mix, maybe however they have it EQ'd at the radio station, just made it more apparent. But that's when I realized he was going Tita, and I'm like, this is
I
horrible.
I never realized. I don't know. I guess I just didn't process it. It's like in high school when that came out, so I didn't realize he was saying "tita," and I don't know. I guess I forgot that exists. My brain just mentally blocked it out. But I was like, God, so awful.
Aunt's an artist who's trying new things.
Well, he needs to try harder, but not this song because it doesn't need to try harder. It is hard. That's how you and
Oh yeah,
it's a pretty good like official ending track for the album. Like I said, I get the
yeah.
hard hitting screams, hard hitting sounds. It's fun. It's bouncy. It's a good subject matter for the album. It's a good high note to leave on. Everyone's happy, I suppose. Eating cunt.
If you've never eaten pussy before, you should definitely give it a shot. Just whoever's listening to this, like,
Eat
yeah.
the vagina. It's my favorite thing. You think I would have made Twin Peaks if I wasn't eating puss? Please. That you can quote him on that. That's a real quote, probably.
It's from the mouth of David Lynch.
He has a whole side plot where his character like makes out with one of the chicks from it, and it's like the funniest shit ever. It should be posted in the Louvre in France. It's like the best
It's
art
so
ever.
stupid. He like stands up and he's like, "I'm going to kiss you now."
He's like, if I don't
It's
kiss you
just so
now, I'll
awkward.
always regret it. Her look on like the character Shelley Johnson's face is just like, and then she lets him smooch him. He's like, she's the kind of girl you wish you spoke a little French. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Is that a penis joke, David Lynch?
It's him loving beautiful woman, but we only
I'm
love
just
gross.
imagining like a woman yelling at David's crotch, going, "Wee wee, Monobi."
This is what breakcore does to a motherfucker. Look what's happened. Look at the discussion. This is what gone off the rails. I don't care. I didn't expect as much. I mean, we're talking about fucking passenger shit. Passenger
Yeah,
shit 2. 2.
Passengerofshit2.
I don't.
The sequel goes harder.
Am I awful? I don't even know if we even like said the official title of this album.
It,
Yeah,
it is. It's Passengerofshit2.
two, two. You know what I'm saying? So
Two.
nice they made it twice. Fucking, we're playing it loud in the Denny's right now. Let's go, passenger shit. Dude, like, I used to do dishwashing back when I had my way back when I had my first apartment. I did part time dishwashing. I would
Okay.
blast that. I'd blast all kinds of shit back. We were in
Fuck yeah.
Cracker Barrel. Back in the back of Cracker Barrel, blast all kinds of stuff. It was great. It was
Did you
wild
have
back
the
then.
metal pan you stick your phone in so it amplifies?
Yeah. Yeah. That's like a universal thing, isn't it?
I used to work at Arby's and they're like, "We don't
Oh.
care what you do, just keep those dishes washed." I'm
Oh,
like, "Fuck yeah." Like blaring
sh-
ICP on my phone,
oh
like,
shit.
"Fuck these rich people."
I feel like it's kind of a. It's funny you bring up ICP. Do you think there's a crossover between the two communities, like breakcore and like, was it horrorcore, rapcore?
Yeah, I think maybe his side project. So I haven't listened to any of Bush Pig, MC Bush Pig, which is one of his other aliases, but
Yeah.
I think maybe there's some. crossover there because I do I recall my Juggalo days.
Uh-oh, do you do the X-Files music plays?
Um, so
Baby go.
we're so far past. Um, I do recall in my Juggalo days with like I think Kid Crusher is a Australian horrorcore Juggalo artist. I
None of those words are in the
whatever.
Bible, I just have to say.
I yes, I know some of those words. But when he started blowing up, like I think he went on tour with Twisted or ICP or somebody. People were like, "Oh yeah, the Australian horrorcore scene is like way different. Like there's not a lot of juggalos in it." And in my head, being a stupid like 13-year-old, I'm like, "How are you juggalos if you don't like ICP? Or how are you horrorcore if you don't like ICP?" And it's like this big broad thing where like ICP is actually just this very large sliver of it. So
Yeah.
I would be interested in even like a rate your music comparison of like people that know Passenger Shit or Bush Pig versus like any of the psychopathic artists. So
That would be interesting. Could be something
yeah.
could follow up on. Just like a random discussion. I mean, it's those are genres that are far removed from me. I never got into them, but like I respect them. I know a lot of people like to give that community shit and talk shit and all that, but um, I think they have their community, and I met some of them. Like you can say what they want, but they are a community and they're cool, and
Mhm.
I don't know. It's being passionate about them, being passionate for each other, and so it's just very interesting, and I totally get it, and I think it's cool. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I want to say I feel like psychically there's a connection between these things and genre and stuff. And I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Just are so underground and being outside the norm or wanting to be. A lot of extreme music are people like pushed to the extreme for all different variations, for being different walks of life and trauma and forces against them and all kinds of stuff. And this is a way to cope and reach out to other people the same mindset that get it. Like it's it's like that meme. If you get it, you get it. Listening to it.
You get it, you got it.
That
Good.
said,
So
like can't listen to stuff constantly all the time. Even me, as much as power electronics to listen to or whatever. But that's why it's important to find good breakcore albums that you can just throw into your die and playlist. You're like, yeah, like you're feeling it, and that don't like give you, I don't want to say a headache, but you just kind of listen to it. It becomes like one solid mass.
oh
This is
yeah.
smooth like a ganache. Like, have you ever cooked with chocolate? If you don't cook it right, it seizes and it clumps into one big clump. And it's like, you can work
Yeah.
with that and eat it. It's good. But
Hmm.
you can, if you do it right, it's smooth. You can spread it out.
Yeah,
No,
no,
no clue.
psychologically, like you should have I know plenty of people that like all they listen to is hard rock or classic rock, whatever the fuck we call it, like Van
Dad
Halen,
rock.
Led Zeppelin and shit. Dad rock, yeah. It's all dad rock now.
That's right.
But it's very important just to have that juxtaposition at least at some point in your life. And for some people, it's like their children show them, like yeah, mom, I'm really into this. And even though to people like us that listen to like these fucking far off, like, clown core or whatever,
Yeah.
like to us, it's like, yeah, no, those are, right here next to each other. But to them, it's like just different enough to say, yeah, Taylor Swift is totally not the same as, Van Halen or
Yeah.
Ozzy or whatever.
Yeah.
So it is important. And then I'm just thinking about like the people in North Korea that heard Laibach during the
Mm.
like celebration.
I gotta
And
do a
they're like, well, I
video.
guess people make music like that.
I gotta do a video all about that. That's such an interesting topic. Um, I'm sure not everyone. I mean, people watching this channel might know, but like if you don't, as always, I don't want to assume like the industrial group, Liebach, legendary group, from Slovenia, former Yugoslavia, which is important to their history. That's a whole other thing. They played in North Korea. There's even a whole art book album directed to them. They were greeted fondly. It was like a whole thing. Very interesting affair. I will write about that one time. I think that'd be an interesting topic for some people to check out, because there's whole theories of why, who, what, when, where, and why about it. Also has to do with like the sound of music and just all this
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, I mean, music like this can even be so alien, like this album, for people who are into like experimental stuff, and they might not get it, and they might think like people are trying to be obnoxious as possible. And I suppose there is a point to that. It's trying to alienate, it's trying to keep it underground, it's trying to push the
Yeah.
shitty people out of it, because I think only certain people who want to know and who want to be part of these communities and help each other and be part of these ostracized people will get it and want to be part of it.
Yeah.
Take that risk to go see this show and be with their fellow toilet paper smokers. um, so that's this album. Definitely not for everyone. It was cool to dig in and talk about it. Totally a waste of tape. Why would they make this awful? Please listen to Wink Fucking Cunt. I think that sums up this album well. I think it's the best track. I mean, it's all good, but you know, that that would be my suggestion.
Guts fucking. Like you gotta hear
Guts
guts
fucking
fucking.
is a good one. It's just such a great. I think it's a great title too, and I don't know, but those are kind of my final thoughts. Like I said, not for everyone, but if it's for you or you're in the know, you get it, or you want to get it, I think this is what you want to check out. I mean, everyone's welcome to check it out. I
Oh
like to
yeah.
push everything on everyone, but I do not be upset if you're just like, holy shit, what is this? Is awful. It is. You're right, but it's
But also, yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's
I really um like I love the first two albums that we covered, and I really love that, like, even though, I mean, we've talked about it in other videos, like even though we both are like, yeah, industrial, like we're coming from two different, approaches of like I like it because it itches this part of my brain versus for me it's like this part of my brain.
yeah.
And so, as we hear more niche picks or niche, however the fuck you say it, picks, like I'm hoping it opens up these artists to new fans,
That's the whole
or opens
point.
up the fans to, yeah, so like just weirder and weirder things. And if someone's listening and has like, off the wall fucking, recommendation, not like Jars of Clay or Enya, because I love Enya, but fucking by all means let us know. We're on Twitter, Instagram, fucking YouTube, everywhere. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, like I wanted something for the people that, want to like move their bodies and crush their enemies.
Because when I fight, I always fight to the death. Uh,
Yes,
it's
itself.
so true, bestie. So true. Yeah, this is definitely kind of outside comfort zone of even people. Maybe not you, but people like or um, yeah, because you're on the total like gabber aggro total spectrum of industrial hardcore dancing.
Oh fuck yeah.
I'm the weirdo person in the shadows in the hospital listening to samples of
So tell
industrial.
me, if you're in the shadows, when's that collab with Todd in the shadows gonna happen?
He's a cool dude. Check him out.
Yeah,
He's way smarter about music than us put together 3 times.
probably. Yeah. He's
um,
like playing it on the piano and talking
yeah.
about like this. I'm like,
I,
right
I
on,
would
man.
I would feel very honored if he even like messaged me. I'm very detached from the social dogma even within the music YouTube community, which is fine. Just like the music here. Um, just like the people who make this music, and I think that's beautiful. Or what the journalists say, and that's a good thing. This is
Right. It's gonna, I think it's gonna happen because eventually there's gonna be like he's gonna have to cover, for like one of his either train records or something, like he's gonna have to talk to someone that knows industrial music. And so he's,
I hope I
yeah.
I always hope it's me that YouTubers will think of if they need advice. I know it's not gonna be me. I know it's gonna be someone who barely has an idea. No offense to those people, but a man can dream. Okay, I'm there. You want advice? um. So, what what are your absolute closing thoughts on this album? Because rambling all the time, or I am.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So my closing thoughts on this album is it's a fun album. Like
Yeah.
even if this isn't like none of these songs have ever made it onto one of my gym playlists except maybe Crush Your Enemy did at one point, but yeah, it's like even if this is just something you listen to every once in a while and it's not your favorite album in the world, like, you can say like, a long day of like, fucking dealing with customers or working in the factory or,
Yeah.
sailing around tourists on a boat, whatever the fuck your menial bullshit job that you hate is, you can be like, you know what? I need to just take a load off and, stick my dick in concrete. Yeah,
And I think,
yeah. So,
yeah, I think that's what it's for. This is meant to be in person in those hazardous underground illegal shows to like get the steam off of from society and all the bullshit. And that's why it's. I think that at the heart of it, that's what it's about. I was listening to this
yeah,
while in class, and I in prosthetic class, so
dude.
I was shaping. I'm making an endoskeleton leg, so it actually looks like a leg, but I have to use Bondo, which is like this paint putty stuff to
Hmm.
shape it to the leg, and I'm constantly adding it and shaping it. That's what I was doing all day. I was shaping and shaving this leg, which you gotta do it aggressively. I actually broke the grater while listening to this. I have the surform. It's a half circle surform. And like it snapped because I was holding like this trying to grate the leg down, and I was listening to this, and I was like, "Oh shit!" So, the power, uh, yeah. So that's this album. Well, you know, I've been in Denny's too long. The show's over. Now we gotta go back into the sewer. We're gonna go through Denny's. It's basically a sewer anyway.
Yeah.
David Lynch is drunk in the corner. We've had our
There's the
time.
express route through the back of the
That's
Denny's
right.
right down into the sewer.
Next time, catch us in AutoZone as we talk about. I don't know. If you made it this far, maybe I'll give you a hint. It might be. Maybe we'll talk about Crash Worship. Maybe we'll do some
Ooh,
psychedelic industrial that a lot of
ooh.
people don't know about. But
Gotta
I
get in a whole different
do.
headspace for that.
Yeah. Um. But yeah, thank you everyone so much for watching and taking the time. And Swift, if you watch this, I'm not sorry. You know what? I'm not sorry. But I do hope people buy your album. You can support him right on Bandcamp, and we'll link that. First thing we'll link down below. So, and it's wicked cheap. It's worth checking out. And if you really need to, just ignore the album covers, whatever. The music's good, but I would appreciate his art. Also, we didn't talk about it real quick. Check out his websites. They're fucking cool. They're like reminiscent of
Oh
like Web
yeah.
2.0 shit. Total DIY. Like it doesn't get more DIY than this dude and his art and all that. So I would totally check that out. But uh,
And let other fucking people know about this too. So if you have like friends that just need
yeah,
goofy music or fucking are DJs that play like underground raves, like let them know about Passenger or shit.
I,
Like
I want to put this
definitely
in my
deserves spins.
I want to put this in my next
Yeah.
mix. My rhythmic noise, fucking blow the twinks out.
I want to see those subwoofers on fire.
All right. So yeah, I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.